It's the Bush League Mud Show.
It's the Bush League Mud Show. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Make some noise!
All right, yo, what is going on? Is another edition of the Bush League Mud Show, WWE Raw Review Edition. Slade,
PJ.
be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also, like and follow us as well on social media at Bush League MS Show. All right, Monday Night Raw, about 3 weeks away, PJ, from the Royal Rumble. We got some a nice going away. We're getting Lashley and Lesnar for the Rumble. So we're 3 weeks out from that, and so this thing is starting to come together. It could be worse. Not bad after they had to scramble. You know, we got to now go back to separating Reigns and Lesnar for the time being. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we'll get them back together in something by the end of the Rumble because we've got Rollins and Reigns. We've got Lashley and Lesnar. We know Reigns and Lesnar, both of them will not be retaining titles coming out of the Rumble. Most likely, odds are.
Someone will be screwing someone over, I'm sure, in their match.
Yeah, so this Raw in Philly, City of Brotherly Love, Wells Fargo Center. And so we kick this thing off, video package to put everything together, let you know where we are. And this has to do with that four-way match that we were supposed to be getting at day one. But that got kind of screwed a little bit, being that Reigns was out with COVID. Lashley's in, so that was a five-way match. Lashley's the winner. The four-way from last week, of course, determining the new number one contender, the Brock Lesnar's WWE Championship. So we get that video package. We kick Raw off the same way that we kicked SmackDown off. And the same way that we kicked off the previous Raw of last week. Well, hell, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, come on down. Open it up. They come down, and this is Bobby Lashley and MVP. They are in the back watching this on the monitor, side view-wise, this silly-ass little angle they have everyone standing at. So, I'm thinking, why put the camera on these guys when we know that we're going to get them to interrupt the promo? Well, this is because we need to shine a light on the fact of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin popping their heads in there. And we got the Hurt Business all in one room again. They come up to Lashley, and they are glad to have the team back together. And Lashley says, well, not so fast, because he now works alone. MVP is nodding in agreement. And I will say that we actually did kind of a sloppy job of telling the story that Lashley wants nothing. We put them back together.
Yeah.
And there was really no – it was real quick. They just vanished, and Benjamin and Alexander went back to jobbing as a tag team and all that. So we do that, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, with what we talked about last week, maybe the possibility of the Hurt Business getting back together and doing a number on Brock at the Rumble.
Helping
Lashley's not down with the advances of Alexander and Benjamin, so we go right back to the arena. Heyman, he is doing the intro for Lesnar. Lesnar's looking happy, as we've only seen Brock Lesnar since he's come back. He's all smiles and stuff. So we get Heyman in the middle of the intro for Brock Lesnar, and of course, this didn't take long. Cue the Lashley and MVP music. They come down to interrupt. We get the stare downs going down. MVP, he handles Lashley's intro. So Lashley can basically talk to Lesnar face-to-face. Lashley says that Lesnar's been ducking him for 20 years.
Yes, 20.
With Lesnar saying that it is an honor for him to be in the ring with him, meaning Lashley. It's an honor for him to be in the ring with Lashley. Brock then talks about winning titles all over the world. We got that reference, of course, to the outside world of wrestling, the MMA world, about how he's won titles there and everything. So, Lesnar says it's basically 20 years, It's Lashley's fault that they're just now finally meeting each other. Lesnar then asks how many threads that MVP's suit has. Now, this cracked MVP up quite a bit, and so this is where we get MVP and Lashley cracking some jokes, or at least attempting to kind of showcase the fact that Lesnar has all of a sudden become a comedian.
Yes.
And Lesnar acknowledges it, and he says that he is funny and he is also money. This is when he calls over Paul Heyman and starts doing damn knock-knock jokes.
Yes, he does in Philly.
And Paul Heyman responds by saying, Brock doing knock-knock jokes in Philly, I thought I'd seen it all. And this got a nice little pop from the crowd.
Yeah.
So the joke goes, knock-knock. who's there? And Lesnar says Bobby, and Heyman says Bobby who? And Lesnar says exactly. And this got another huge pop from the crowd. Lesnar then calls Lashley a Brock Lesnar wannabe and then did a mic drop and walked away with Lashley pretty much just standing there with no other. And I'm like, why is Lashley just standing there just to take the insult like that? Well, this was to put in the little cheap Alexander and Benjamin, not forgetting what had just happened in the back 5 minutes prior. They jump in the ring to jump Lashley, but he pretty much puts him down pretty quick.
They put him down, make him look stronger. It was strange to see them try to wrap this up very quickly because I think a lot of us forgot they were back together again. It seemed like they forced this on, maybe because they knew the insults were coming and how Brock was just going to walk out of the ring and wasn't really going to acknowledge Bobby again, really, per se. So maybe that's why they felt like they had to have him do the beatdown to the two members of the Hurt Business. That's only I could see.
Yeah, so we end that segment there, and then we go into the back where we've got Riddle and Randy Orton back there. Now, Riddle got some of the louder pops of the night. He's not exactly from Philly. He's from Allentown, but close enough.
Yeah.
So they're in the back, and they're getting ready for the tag team title match against the Alpha Academy. And Randy Orton tells him to be serious. Orton then proceeds to take a Sharpie and writes in on Riddle's hands what he should do should he get into any kind of trouble in this match. And that read, tag in Randy.
Yes.
So he put that on Riddle's hands and start heading to the ring. As he was about to, Riddle, because in Riddle fashion, he can't take anything too serious. He wanted to know, since they're in Philly, if Randy Orton was more of a Pat's or a Geno's guy. And Orton picked Geno's, which is a cheesecake palace there in the city. And so we got some people who apparently are big-time Pats fans because they went on Twitter to say that this might be the true beginning of Randy Orton turning heel by saying that he was more of a Geno's guy. So apparently Geno has some heat in Philly. Yeah. Anyways, we get into this match, RK Bro, Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy had just beat them in a non-title last week. And so we got RK Bro defending the titles on the line. And the strategy was pretty much the same, dude. Gable and Otis keeping Riddle away from Orton. So that's really what this story was. That's what they did last week. They kept Riddle away from Orton to get in a hot tag and getting hot. And so that was great strategy.
It was.
And they did it again in this match. Yeah. So Riddle's trying to wrestle with Gable. He gets taken down in a hurry. We get some arm bars that don't work so well for Riddle. Gable, he's right in the ropes before he can get anywhere. Riddle then proceeds to knock Gable to the outside. We get a big springboard floating bro to take him out. We got, of course, that commercial break. We come back from it. We've got Gable hitting a dragon screw leg whip on Riddle, and then he tags in Otis, who proceeds to get into the ring. Riddle actually gets out of trouble with a flaming bro to Otis. Finally gets that hot tag. Imagine that in today's professional wrestling. The fans were into it.
They were popping for it.
They were popping for the hot tag. Orton gets in, cleans house. Gable, he gets crotched on top. Get a top rope suplex to bring him right back down. Otis then makes a blind tag, though. And we get a World's Strongest Slam to Orton, who takes the pin. Yeah. And you've got new tag team champs, the Alpha Academy. So I don't know. I'm going to assume that now RK Bro, I will say at least, they don't need the belts anymore. But this could be, you think, an Alpha Academy dropping this right back off at the Rumble. Or is this finally the official beginning of maybe them throwing the tidbits of this team splitting up because it wasn't Riddle this time.
Correct.
That was eating the pinfall. It was Orton.
I hope they're giving them back at Rumble. I don't want them broken up. I want this run to continue, but I think that's why they need the belts, because it gives them a storyline that they still have to stay together, where if now Randy says, well, the hell with it, then they'll just break the whole thing up, and who knows if they'll do what they should do. Obviously, when tag teams break up, put one over the other. And, with Randy taking the pin, I think there's a rematch coming at Rumble.
Okay. We get a backstage segment. Damian Priest, he officially announces himself into the Royal Rumble, and then we get Priest and the Street Profits that are getting ready for a 6-man tag match. And they're going to be facing the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, and Apollo Crews. So they do their spiel, and then we get to another backstage segment of Montez Ford's wife, Bianca Belair, who's ready to get her next shot at Becky Lynch. So now we get back to business. The match, we get Street Profits, Priest versus the already mentioned Ziggler, Roode, and Apollo Crews. Start this match off. We get into it. Ford, he jumps over Crews to stop or to start it. So then we get it off to Ziggler. And this actually, I'm going to be honest with you, these are two of the more athletic guys in the company. Ziggler's pushing 40, if not, he's already in his 40s, and he still moves around very good. Yeah, which is why they continue to call him to come back and do the shit that he does. So, Priest ends up coming into this match. He cleans house. We get the heels being knocked outside without much trouble whatsoever. We come back from a commercial break. We get Crews, Gorilla pressing forward. Ziggler chinlock doesn't last very long on Montez Ford as he fights up and brings in Dawkins to clean house. As soon as Dawkins got into the ring, I knew this match was getting ready to come to an end because Dawkins is always the fall guy in these matches, isn't he? Yeah. So everything, of course, goes to hell, breaks down. Ford hits a big flip dive to the floor, so that takes him out. That leaves Ziggler to give Dawkins the zigzag for the pin, the victory there. So, I mean, this is, it's your annual Dolph Ziggler semi-push, isn't it? I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll put the United States title on him or not with Priest. You know, it looks like he still needs to take a run with it. But, yeah, like you said, this is all of a sudden he's in the championship picture again, out of nowhere.
We get a video package recapping or the rebound for SmackDown recap, and of course that was going to lead to Seth Rollins. He comes out dancing, he gets on the mic, and we get Rollins, who is happy to see Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar hitting each other a lot because he'll be ready to take the Universal title from Roman Reigns. This cued Big E's music to interrupt, and he made a reference to the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, which it seemed he kind of left Rollins confused there. I think he kind of went over Rollins' head. Big E, though, he gets to the point finally, enters the Royal Rumble so he can win his title back at Mania. Rollins, of course, he laughs it off, so Big E thinks they should face off that night in Philly. So Rollins agrees, and he says, let's do this. He wants a referee out there. We get the belt. I mean, they got into this match pretty quick.
Yeah, I thought this was setting up to be the heel chicken shit. I'm running out of the ring. I'm not doing the match thing. And, yeah, let's do this. And all of a sudden, they're there, and I'm waiting for Seth to run out, and he's not. And they're actually having the match. I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
It was super, super fast. The match started off fast with Rollins drop kicking. He got caught, though, in a power slam by Big E, who got knocked to the outside for a dive, though. And then the fight, we get it on the outside. They're on the floor. And Big E hits an apron splash. We get a break. We come back from the break. We get Rollins slipping out of a power slam attempt, and he takes Big E down into a slow, boring chin lock. They kind of slow it down a bit because this match, again, it started off super, super fast.
Yeah.
It's finally broken up. Big E, he hits a rock bottom out of the corner, but Rollins headbutts his way out of a belly-to-belly, and Big E then sends him out to the apron, hits a spear to the floor that looked like it did more damage to Big E than it did to Rollins on that. We come back from another break, get back with Big E. He's fighting up, snapping off the belly-to-belly suplexes. Then we get a Warrior splash connecting. Rollins, though, he's able to escape out of that, out of another rock bottom out of the corner, that is. Rollins then hits a frog splash of his own. Too many damn frog splashes on this show for my liking, especially the fact that it was a 2 count.
Yeah.
Eddie would have made sure that was a 3 back in the day.
And you got the guy in the previous match, Montez Ford. That's his finisher as well. So, I mean,
does it better than anybody.
Does it great than anyone else. Not that he did it in that match. I'm just saying, protect the finishers, guys.
Yeah. So Rollins, he hits that frog splash for the 2 count. Big E then power bombs him. And then we get Rollins being sent into the ropes. Big E plants him again for 2 more of the stretch mufflers, and then we get another spear through the ropes. hits his knee. That means Rollins can now go up where he has to escape a super big ending. Big E, he can't hit his regular version of the move, so Rollins has to basically miss a pedigree attempt. There was a pedigree attempt in this match. We get some forearms that put Big E down, and then we get the curb stomp. And, I mean, the match ended a little dry, I thought, but they did put Rollins over clean in this match. So we've got Big E losing in 4-way matches, 5-way matches, singles. And
the booking here is questionable. I mean, I understand you got to make Seth look strong now that he's going against Roman. He's going in with some wins. But
it's a quick fall for Big E, though.
Yeah, we're really shitting on Big E right now. This match didn't even have to happen. I mean, that's the thing. They could have came out and jaw-jacked all they wanted.
If this is their way of getting Big E out of the title picture for the time being, I feel like there's got to be a better way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's just for this 3-week span, and then he'll be back in it after the Rumble if they do Elimination Chamber or whatever the hell they're going to do with Sweet Saudi Money. But, I mean, I think he'll be right near that picture again here before Mania. He's made too many Mania type promos to say that he's not going to be involved.
And there have been talks already that there was a possibility in the plans that these two would meet over the title at Mania, with Rollins probably going into Mania with the title and Big E potentially winning it back.
So then why the hell would you do this match right now? I mean, that's the thing. If they know that is the plan.
And they win almost 20, by the way.
Down the road, you don't do this match. You have them talk and then do something else, but you don't have this match right now.
We get a highlight of the Women's Royal Rumble field again, and, of course, they shine a light on some of the legends and former divas that they are bringing back for this. I also saw Melina earlier tonight on Twitter. It looks like confirmed.
Okay.
I don't want to put money on it officially, but it looks like Melina is going to be coming back to be in this Rumble. We've got Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts champ. We've got Michelle McCool. We've got Summer Rae. We've got Lita. We've got so they're really loading this up, and this is what happens when you future endeavor. A lot of your women. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get a lot of NXT call-ups for this Rumble too.
You think so?
Sure. I'm pretty sure. They're already going to the well. They're going to the outside, the forbidden door that they talk about now. They're going to Impact. Now,
well, they got to shut their mouths, though, with some of these and make it an actual goddamn surprise, like what the Rumble was made for. That's my problem. I understand you want to release some of those names. Don't give me the whole damn field before going in. Leave some mysteries out there.
Yeah, so after we get that, we get Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH down for chat, and Nikki seems to be okay with the loss from the previous week, but Ripley really doesn't want to talk about it, probably because all she's done since she's hooked up with Nikki is fucking lose.
Yep.
So that's not cool with Nikki that Ripley doesn't want to talk about it, because they're going to be they're going to talk about it right now, damn it. And Nikki doesn't want to split up the team, but Ripley thinks that it's time to go their own ways. And
thankfully,
they can get the titles back, but Ripley says it's not about that. And Nikki says, so you think you're so much better than me?
Yes.
This is where we got, Ripley is trying to let Nikki know that's not what she meant. But in reality, yes, she is.
She is.
She's the money of this whole little thing that they got put together.
Yeah.
So Nikki then responds by saying that it's great to know where Rhea's head is, which is enough to make her leave. Ripley turns back to face her, and the team seems to be done. We do get a hug. Nikki, she turns on her, starts beating the hell out of her. So that came out of, I mean, we were expecting.
Yeah.
Now I'm glad that Rhea still saves face in this whole thing. They're not turning her heel.
Yeah.
We don't need, I mean, your two champs right now in that division are heels.
Yeah,
so we don't need another money person of that division to be a heel as well. So
you think she's going after Charlotte again? Do they do that one more time?
I think that might be the backup. I'm thinking, especially after you got social media now knowing that Lita's going to be in this shit.
Yeah.
That because Sasha Banks should be back for Mania.
But will
And
they
I'm
put her
pretty
in
sure-
a profile match? That's the thing.
Well, I think that Sasha will be back. I'm going to predict that Sasha will be back winning one of those belts at Mania.
Okay.
And how Vince loves to go to the Legends for Mania now because we can't figure out the other 364 days out of the fucking year of how to actually build what we have in-house to make them a money draw. I would imagine we might get a legend this year on the women's side that could be going after one or the other for the time. My money's probably on Charlotte's going to get whoever wins this Rumble, especially
unless
knowing
she wins it.
Unless she wins it. So
they run that angle.
Who knows? Maybe Charlotte could win it and pick her own opponent. Maybe she picks Lita.
I don't know if she would do that, though. I think she would pick like the most incapable person in the back to go against. She'd probably pick like, I don't know, let's see, anyone in the 24/7 picture category to go against. I mean, that's what we're looking at. Reggie, she'll go against. I don't know.
So after Nikki turns on Rhea, Nikki says that superheroes don't need friends. All that I can say is that I'm very glad, PJ, that WWE finally seems to be giving up on this stupid-ass gimmick that we had going on between these two.
They had a nice little pop.
I was not emotional one bit that they split this up.
It didn't. Yeah, I don't think anyone was sad about this. It didn't get the pop when she attacked Rhea either. It wasn't like when Becky slapped Charlotte after their match at SummerSlam with that Brooklyn crowd when all of a sudden they popped for that. There wasn't really no one felt anything with it. It was just long and awkward.
PJ's favorite part of the show every single week. 24/7 title stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah, we got Reggie in the back with Dana Brooke. He's got some cheesesteaks for both of them. He thinks someone is going after that 24/7 title. Well, of course, it's called the fucking 24/7 title. So, yes, you're to be on alert at all times, Reggie. So we got R-Truth with a trash can. It contains Tozawa. We got Brooke and Reggie throwing the cheesecakes, throwing their food at them. It gets on Tamina. She freaks out, turns over the trash can. And then we get Reggie and Brooke. They're running off. And then they run into Omos. This is where we are. The guy that just beat AJ Styles clean the week before is now involved in 24/7 shit, PJ.
Here we go. I think Vince starting to sour on the guy if you're showing him like this. I know he was on his way to the ring for his big match, but not looking good for Omos.
We got him in a squash match. It went about a minute and a half, and it pretty much confirms that we're at least going to get some Omos, Reggie, Dana Brooke kind of angle going because they're backstage watching this match as it goes on for the minute and a half that it did. Just stupid shit. Moving on, we get Edge, cutting Edge. He's got what he describes as the most gorgeous and curvaceous guest that he's ever had, the owner of thighs that could crack a coconut, his wife, Beth Phoenix. And they talk about how they're ready to do some damage to both Miz and Maurice at the Rumble, and if they have more titles between themselves than any other couple in WWE history, including Miz and Maurice. So we get a video package showcasing Beth Phoenix's accomplishments and all of that. And so he gives her the floor, and she says that if Edge, with that video package, is trying to butter up later, flattery will get him everywhere.
Yep.
So we get Miz and Maurice who come out. That cues them. They come out. They insult the Philly crowd, and there's a Ben Simmons reference there by Miz that's dropped that gets some boos from the Philly crowd. They're going back and forth. Edge is mocking Miz for hiding behind Maurice several weeks ago, avoiding a spear. And Miz isn't trying to hear it. And he says that he didn't come empty-handed. He has a highlight video package of his own for his wife. So we get the career and accomplishments package for Maurice. So if you're a very new viewer to the product, you'll know how we got here and why these two ladies really mean any kind of worth of shit. So we're now getting back and forth, and Edge makes a comment about his wife being able to bench press a Buick, and they're going, Beth gets back on the mic and talks about what they plan on and what she especially plans on doing to Maurice at the pay-per-view. Miz does not take too kindly to this.
No.
And he wants Maurice to get back at her and let Beth Phoenix know what she's going to do to her at the Rumble. And he looks back, and his wife has hightailed it and left her husband high and dry. I just don't it was out of left field a little bit that Edge and Miz were even going to have a day one match, and now we're going with the mixed tag match. This segment, honestly, was more to shine a light on the women. I'm glad it just wasn't 10 minutes of just Miz and Edge going back and forth on the mic. We don't need it anymore. We already got that. So this was the more so showcase the ladies of this match. But it really doesn't get me excited. But you say you actually
I'm excited
you're
for it, and I can see where they're good with this because I think it has something to do with both of the couples to have their kids watch mom wrestle because they didn't. No, Edge's side, they've seen dad wrestle, but they haven't seen mom and dad wrestle together. So I think for the family thing, it's for that. Miz and Maurice, too. Their kids growing up, seeing mom and dads do what they do. I think for the performers involved, it's to satisfy what they've got going on in their real life that, hey, the kids never got to see him, and it's kind of a pride thing to do it. And, yeah, I think they're going to have a great match coming up here.
Well, you're more of the family man than I am.
Well,
you got
I am.
kids. You're like Heath Slater. You got kids. So this touches.
This will hook you. I guarantee this will get you. I know you hated this part, but when we get there.
I'm not excited
you're
for
not
it right
excited,
now.
but I think by the time we get there, it'll be good for you.
I'm excited to see the ladies.
Yes.
Just to see their presence on the show, but
Yes.
the match itself, I'm not ready for it just yet. I'm just not. It's not doing anything for me.
At least it's Rumble and it's not Mania this time.
We get Austin Theory, who's in the back, says he plans on beating AJ Styles to impress Mr. McMahon. We didn't get a visual. We just got a name drop. So Vince not on camera this week. Were you happy about that, or
I'm all right.
Could you go either way? It doesn't matter.
Let's give him a week or two off now, and then
Save
him
up
back
his voice.
Save him up for Mania. Yeah.
Yeah, we get this match, Styles and Theory, back and forth. This match started off fast as well, just like the Big E Rollins match. So they're going back and forth. They get to the outside. Finally, the match gets back inside. Theory hits a brainbuster on the knee for a 2 count. And then Styles got to the apron where we get the awaiting Grayson Waller. He's got some issues with Styles coming on NXT 2.0, jumps him for the DQ. And I didn't mind this. We didn't really get very far with this match, but at least we got Waller involved. We didn't pin Austin Theory because he's affiliated with Vince. We don't need him being pinned right now anytime soon. And we didn't have Styles getting beat twice in a row after just losing to Omos the previous week.
Yeah, I think this was just exactly the point. Just get the guys on TV, extend the story. No one gets a pin, no one gets hurt, and it keeps, pique the interest a little bit going on.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of a beat down by both Waller and Theory. Styles eventually cleared the ring. And then we get a shot of Waller backstage saying that AJ is going to get taken over the next night on NXT 2.0. So this isn't over. We end up getting that match where we end up getting a returning LA Knight.
It was a good match, too.
Actually, good match,
too. It was
too.
a pretty good match. I was surprised, and I think that's why they had Styles go with Wallers to bring the best out of him. Yeah.
We get Liv Morgan, who says she's tired of getting so close to winning but coming up short. She's never giving up, though, and I'm here to say that she probably should for the time being because all of her strong efforts are going to waste.
Yeah.
Because they're just bigger stars than her right now going after this belt.
Yeah.
Here we go. We get Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah, the returning Alexa Bliss. This is what
she's been traveling with Ryan Cabrera, but now she's back at it, and we got her now in therapy sessions. She's in therapy but can't be fixed until she is willing to open up. Get a flashback of her time as the female fiend, which makes her feel thirsty. She pours the entire pitcher of water and it breaks a bunch of stuff in the office. And says, see you next week to the doctor. Now, she's been gone for 4 months, and my thing, and I came to you immediately. I'm like, 4 months, and the best thing that we could think of is continuing to do the same shit that she left doing. I'm thinking she's going to come back a little bit more normal. Still some elements, maybe that fiend stuff. But we just continued and just picked up where we left off with this shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple weeks if she's going to have a damn doll helping her out with. And we didn't name the doctor. I mean, that's the thing when they do these skits. You have sometimes Dr. Heine, or you have who's the doctor in the Team Hell No skits again?
Was that Dr.
Shelby?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, why didn't they continue that with the therapist thing? That's what they always do, but they didn't do it here. So I'm like, come on, guys.
Now, the entire time that this Alexa Bliss therapy shit's going on, dude, I felt bad for Becky Lynch. Because remember, she got introed down to the ring. She was in the ring the entire time as this silly-ass skit played.
Yeah, watching this thing.
Watching this with the fans. So awkward. I don't know why they put the workers out there to be in awkward moments like that.
Yeah.
We hit their music. They come out. They make the grand entrance. And then there's just an interruption.
And it's already weird as is if you are in live at a Raw. They come out before the break. They go to the break. They cut the music. They show promos on the Jumbotron. And then you see the talent. They get out of the ring usually, and they just walk. They just sit there and walk around. And then 30 seconds to go, they hit the music back on, and then they get the talent back into the ring. And it's really weird in person to see it. And yeah, where she had to camp out even longer and watch this thing. And basically, yeah, you need her to cut the promo, to just get people hyped up about it. But she's on commentary.
Yeah.
Just to have her send her out there. Yeah,
just to send her out there to just say she isn't worried about who the challenger is that comes out of this match. That's it.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the commentary table.
Yeah.
Spice Girl Becky is what I called her from this past Monday.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she looked like. She came out looking like...
Sporty Spice?
Yes. We get our main event. We get a triple threat. Doudrop, Liv, and Bianca. Winner is the new number one contender. They all punch each other to start this match off. Doudrop, she's suplexing Belair pretty hard, as she should. She's the biggest one in this match. Mm-hmm. The two of them, they head out to the outside. Morgan flip dives onto both of them. We get back in. Doudrop, she crushes Liv in the corner. Bianca Belair breaks that up. Doudrop then crushes both of them with a basement crossbody before dropping Morgan onto Belair for a double cover. We get Liv, who's in a bit of trouble. She's in a chin lock, but then she fights up. She gets sent over the top for a crash into the steps. We take a break, come back from that with Doudrop missing a charge into the corner, getting rolled up to give Morgan a quick 2 count. Morgan then grabs a Rings of Saturn on Belair, who powers out. Bianca Belair, you appreciate just the strength, just the athleticism of what. Like I think Bianca and Charlotte is more of. Now I know they've already had some matches, but I just enjoy seeing those two just from the athletic. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. The amazing things that they can do. Anyways, Belair, she breaks up this the cover with a 450 splash. Actually, I think I might have fast-forwarded a little bit too much. She powered out of the Rings of Saturn, and Belair then got sent to the corner, but then Doudrop powerbombed Morgan pretty hard and went for the cover. Bianca broke up the cover with a 450 splash off the top, got a 1 count out of that. We get both of them down. We get a handspring moonsault that hit both of them, and then we get the KOD. That gets no count, really. Becky gets into the ring to make sure that if there's anyone who ain't going to be winning, it ain't going to be Bianca.
Yep.
So this is all legal. After she's broken that up, Becky then gets to the outside. Bianca's chasing Becky around the ring, which leaves it down to just Doudrop and Liv Morgan, who then goes Yokozuna in the corner, hits a bonsai drop on Liv Morgan, pins her. So there you go. We've got our match set up for the Rumble. We've given Becky someone a fucking heel. We gave her a heel because we couldn't do the Liv match again, and we're saving Bianca for the potential money match for Mania. So Doudrop will get us through January. So these two are squaring off face-to-face in the ring. Becky proceeds to reach her hand out. Doudrop, like she's going to go in for the shake, but before then, Becky slaps her in the face, and we get a stare down to end the show between Becky and Doudrop.
Yeah, I see. I thought maybe they're finally acknowledging that they're still going to cheer Becky. She's not a heel per se.
This has been dumb the entire time. The fans can't get into her being a heel.
They're not going to get into her heel, so maybe if they put a heel against her, I don't know what it'll do, but reaction-wise.
This will do nothing but turn Becky back into a face. She's just going to continue to be
she's
cheered.
Like a Stone Cold kind of figure where even though, he turned heel, they were still cheering for him. So, I mean, it's kind of the same damn thing. They haven't learned from their mistake here.
There you go. that was Raw in Philly.
That was it. Dark matches. I saw Ciampa was in a dark match before the show.
Him and Pete Dunne again, or was it someone else?
I think it was someone else, but Ciampa came out. They had a video package for him that was different from his NXT presentation. So it looks like, that was some news. I know before the show hit that, look for Ciampa. Maybe he's going to be in that Royal Rumble entrant or somewhere, but and I know we talked about this too about him, that he said about the touring and things like that. Well, I guess some things, have changed his perspective on things a little bit, or something has changed on that. I believe Ryan Satin was the one who credited him with that. It got it out of Ciampa to say, yeah, well, things have changed a little bit. So obviously, I'm willing to go out and do some of this stuff now. So we'll see with that, but there was some of that dark match stuff going on for that. I think it was a main event match of all things too. So, or a dark match, but then they were doing the main event taping too.
This Raw in Philly, I thought was a downgrade from the previous week of what we got. I think we gave last week's Raw a B. I gave this one a C.
Yeah, C+. Yeah, I mean it's stuck in the middle here. I mean, it's not
stuck in the middle because we're 3 weeks away from the Rumble still.
So, I mean, you can't have it go home great, but they're not go home great anymore. But, it's a whole hum show. That's what it is. 3 hours of, about an hour and a half of good stuff, and then an hour and a half of what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, Philly Raw review, that's what we wanted to give you. And leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. Let us know what you thought of the show. I gave it a C. PJ, you gave it overall, you would say?
C+.
All right, so we gave it on average about a C. What did you think? Leave a comment below. And again, like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Hit us up on social media as well, and like and subscribe there as well. Bush League MS Pod. Slade.
PJ.
We'll come back at you. AEW Dynamite review.